Hey there folks, I'm Ruby Juice, and today I want to show you how you do non-player character, AI, NPC, whatever you want to call them, how you do those contracts on the FarmSim network. So you head to Interactions Contract Center, and if you've watched my Contract Center overview, you would know that on the left-hand column here, you would see player contracts if there are any. Right now, there's none being offered. And on the right-hand side, you see NPC contracts. Now these are contracts that are generally always available. There are 2 training servers currently, and we call them training servers because you're not doing the work for other players, so there's no risk of really screwing things up for somebody else's farm. It's a really great way to learn how to use GPS, make a bunch of money while you're at it, and generally just have something to do in the downtime. So right now there are 2 training servers, Midwest Horizon and Seneca County. And basically when you do these contracts, you'll be doing whatever needs to be done. So if you read the details of the contract, it shows you the field on that server that you need to do the work on. So this contract's showing field 11. It tells you where to get the equipment, located at the north end of the store lot or in the lot on the west side of the map. And it shows here that you need to check the field first to see what kind of work needs to be done. And I'll show you how you go about doing that in just a second. So you can see here there are a bunch of different contracts offered for a bunch of different amounts, and the amount that they're being offered for generally corresponds with how big the field is that you're going to be working on. So more money, bigger field, going to take you a little bit longer obviously, but you'll get paid more in the end. So it's up to you how much time you think you've got, and after you do a few of them, you'll get a sense for how long it takes to complete a contract based on how much it's going to pay you. So to join the training servers, you go to multiplayer, join game, always the international server, not international 2 or 3. Search for Farm Simulator Network or just FarmSim, and then scroll through the list. So you see here is number 10, Midwest Horizon, and the other training is number 25, Seneca County. The other important thing to remember is that when you are going to sync into a server, always go to the main page, select that server from the drop-down, and hit that sync incoming button, just so players will know that there's somebody coming into the server. So now we can pop in our password and jump into the server. So now that I'm in the server, you want to make sure that you join the FSN team farm. It's the only farm on the map, so not hard to figure that one out, but make sure you're in that so that you can use all of the equipment on the map. Then if you head to the map, you can see here all the equipment you could ever want is located over here. And so you can just go ahead and jump there, and you see all the equipment sitting around, and this is all to be used for the different contracts here on the fields. So now if I pop my map open and I take a look at the different contracts, I'll see, so there's one for field 11, there's one for field 92, and there's one for field 81. So if I take a look at my map here, I see 11's pretty close, 92's not too far away. It's got lots of straight lines, so I think I'll take that one. So we'll look here. This is the contract for field 92. Go ahead and accept that. So now basically, as it says, you need to check the field, figure out what needs to be done, and then do it. So if the field is either withered or harvested, you need to plow it. If it's been plowed, then it needs to be seeded. And it tells you plant any cereal crop or soybeans. If the field is planted and it's below 17% growth, fertilize it, and then if it's ready to harvest, harvest it. And anything you need, like fertilizer or seed or lime, you can buy at these silos here at the yard. So we will hop in one of these lovely pink pickup trucks and go figure out what needs to happen on field number 92. So here I am at field number 92. It is plowed, so we will go and get a seeder and we will seed this field. And like I said, if it's plowed, you seed it. If it's withered or grass, you plow it. If it's growing but not fully grown and you can fertilize it, then fertilize it. And if you can harvest it, then harvest it. So basically, kind of whatever the next step is in the process, you do that. So we will park this truck in the garage. It's always important, put the equipment back where you got it. Now we need a seeder, so we'll grab this tractor right here and this seeder. So if you ever encounter a situation where your brake and reverse are actually switched, it's probably due to somebody setting the enhanced vehicle in either reverse or forward and just leaving it that way. So you can see, if I rotate the camera here, in the bottom right hand corner there are two little grayed out arrows and a circle in the bottom right to the left of the speedometer. That's the directional arrows for enhanced vehicle. So if you hit Control Space, the red dot means that the parking brake is on. If you hit End on your keyboard, it takes off the parking brake, and you can see it's currently set to reverse. And when it's set to reverse like that, if I push the gas, or W, I'm actually going to drive backwards. So if you just hit Control Space again, then now if I hit S or the brake, then I go backwards, just as I expect to normally. Now you can also go into your keybinds. I don't remember the keybind to switch the direction. I have it set on my joystick, so you can actually switch it. So now when I hit the gas, I'll go forwards. When I hit the brake, I'll just stop, and I won't go backwards. I can only go forwards. And then if I switch direction and I push my gas pedal, I go backwards. So you can set those keybinds yourself if you'd like. This is particularly handy if you have a steering wheel and pedals, because then when you hold the brake pedal down, you won't go backwards right away, or at all really. You'll stop and you'll just sit there. You have to switch directions, push the gas, and then get back. Now remember, in the FSN, everything is manual attach. So here we have to attach, and I typically detach and reattach the hoses and the PTO if there is one, because sometimes you can run into issues where things kind of bug and they don't attach correctly. So it's always a good bet to just detach the hoses and the PTO and reattach them. And you see here, a kind soul has left this filled up, so I'm ready to roll, head off to field number 92, and we'll get it seated and get this contract done. So we're coming up to field number 92 here, ready to get seating. And a reminder, all of the FSN tractors on the training servers are equipped with GPS. And that's important to note because if you notice that your tractor can't move for some reason, and you've already checked the enhanced vehicle by pressing Control Space and then End to turn on and off the parking brake, then you might just need to hit Alt-C, turn GPS on and off, or off and on, depending on if you're using it or not, just to see if that will help your tractor move, because that's another thing that occasionally gets bugged, doesn't quite work properly. So the contract said that if we need to, we can plant either cereals or soybeans. So I'm going to go ahead and plant soybeans because the seeding rate is lower and I'll be less likely to need to go refill with seed. We'll go ahead and we'll seed the headlands here. See there, I had enhanced vehicle set to backwards still. And now, like I said, NPC contracts, they're a great way to make some extra money if you have some spare time, either as a farm manager like myself, if you don't have anything to do on your own farm and you want to make a little bit of money on the side, or as a contractor if there aren't any player contracts available and you want to be able to still be making some money, then you can hop into one of these training servers and make some money that way. And the reason I say if there aren't any player contracts available is because most often player contracts are going to pay you better than an NPC contract. And like I said, all of these tractors are equipped with GPS, and I definitely recommend using it, because it's going to give you the best result in terms of maximizing your ability to use up the full width of your seeder. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to set myself a track here. Make sure we're aligned properly to the side. And there we go. Now GPS also helps if you want to skip over one width of the seeder or something like that. I'm guessing I'll need to do that at the end because my turning radius will probably not be good enough to turn right back down and go down the same side of the field here. So I'll probably go every other row and then do the same on the way back and seed the field that way. I find that to be the most time efficient. Now, if you haven't used GPS before, this is a great place to test it out, get yourself familiar with it. I will be doing a more fulsome tutorial of GPS that you can watch to make sure you know exactly how to use it. But it is definitely one of my favorite tools in the game. Makes things so much easier in many, many ways. And you see here, this way I can just skip one of the tracks. I'll be coming back to do the headlands later on anyways, so I'll do that this way. And now, while all of the FSN servers run on seasons, the training servers do not, so that you can always be doing different activities and that doesn't have the same downtime during the winter. So you'll probably notice during winter that the contracts for these servers will get taken up a little bit quicker because people will be looking for work and there just aren't player contracts available generally in the winter time because people just aren't having the same levels of activity on their own farms. But such is the ebb and flow of the FSN work, and this at least gives you an opportunity to still make some money as a contractor and keep yourself busy if you want. And there we have it. I've got this field all seeded up, so I've done the work that I need to do to complete that contract. I just need to bring this tractor and seeder back to where I got it from, park it nicely, and then I will be all set. That's an important part of doing these contracts. You need to make sure you put the equipment back where it's supposed to go. If you really get something stuck in a ditch or on a fence or something like that, try and get it out yourself. If you can't, maybe somebody else on the server can help you. If not, submit a ticket and then one of the staff members will have to come and reset that vehicle. The good news is there are multiple tractors and harvesters, all kinds of different things on the server. So if you do need to use a different one, then there should be one available. So we've got our tractor and seeder back here at the yard. We can go ahead, find a spot to park them. I see my parking spot has been taken by a plow, but that is a-okay. We'll go park our seeder over here, and then we'll park the tractor as well. And one thing that I like to do as a courtesy is make sure I leave it in forward, put on the parking brake, hit Control Space to turn off the enhanced vehicle, and then shut the tractor off. And now the only thing left is to go into My Contracts here on the website, select what I did from the drop-down list, so I planted field number 92, and mark it as completed. And remember, with these contracts, they have a timer of half an hour, so you're not able to complete one of those contracts on the website until half an hour has elapsed from when you accepted it. And that's to stop people from just accepting and completing contracts without actually doing the work and just trying to rack up money and game the system. And there you have it. That is how you do an NPC contract on the FarmSim network. Accept the contract on the website, check the field with a pickup truck to see what needs to be done, get the right equipment, go do the work, and put the equipment back in a place either where you found it or just park it nicely in one of the sheds. That's all there is to it. Now get out there and make some money. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next time.